I want the media team, if you will, to pull up a video I want to play. Now, I want you to keep in mind, I filmed this video 2 years ago.
Hello, this is Pastor Henzy Green. I wanted to take this moment to share this precious moment with you. It's precious because I understand the principles of God. And I know that I'm right on the brink of stepping fully into the promises of God on my life. And so I know often when you're at that place, you have to do what I call sow the precious. All of us have something that's really precious to us. Even God's word says that God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. It was his son that was precious to him. We also see it with Abraham when he's willing to sacrifice Isaac. We see it with David when he says, I will not offer to God that which cost me nothing. Even at the moment when he was so thirsty and his mighty men broke through the line, risking their life to get him some water, and he takes the water and pours it out as a sacrifice to God. That is the sowing of the precious. And so I'm going to sow the precious for me. This is my guitar. I've actually had this guitar for most of my life. That's why it's so precious. Back in the days when I was playing, you were not a real bass player until you had a Fender. And so actually, this was a labor of love for me. I saved much lunch money, did many chores. I actually bought this from a place that allowed me to put it in layaway as long as I paid something on it every month. So I labored a long time. So when I got my Fender Mustang bass, that meant I was a real bass player then. It is rare. It's a short scale Fender Mustang bass. It's actually a 1966, believe it or not. So it is a vintage guitar, and it's probably the possession I've had longest in my life. And so today I'm going to sell my guitar and sow all of the proceeds into God. This is my precious, because what I'm saying to God is, I love you more than anything. I love you more than any possession. I love you more than any experience. This is where my heart is, that God, I want to sow this precious seed into you. And I know for many that there may be a moment for you when God is calling you to sow the precious as well. And I'm sowing this in complete faith, in complete trust that God, you will receive my love seed.
This was a moment 2 years ago where we had been teetering on the edge of some of the promises. And what I want you to know is, since I sold that guitar, that was so precious to me that my life has changed. Shortly after we sold that guitar, Lady Nicole got her best Hollywood contract she's had to date. Things started balancing out at the church. But I believe it was because I was willing to release the precious. What are you willing to release? It was a hard moment because as a man, sometimes when you're struggling a little bit financially, it can steal pieces of your manhood. But God was saying, do not let money define you. Let me define you. I made you, and I'm the only one that has the right to define you. And I was like, but God, this looks bad. But just like the woman with the alabaster box, when you sow the precious, people won't understand. Okay, y'all missed it. When you sow the precious, people won't understand. In fact, if somebody doesn't think something's wrong with what you're doing, it's not precious. People won't understand, but God will.
Put your hands together. Oh, yeah. Love God, live faith. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. I was running in circles, jumping the hurdles, getting caught in that rush of doing so much. I was feeling kind of worn out, always checking the boxes, trying to be flawless, always spinning my head and catching my breath. I was too afraid to blow it down. I told myself to keep this up, that God wanted more than just my love, but I was complicating things, was just like me.